Welcome back. I have a couple of bullish calls on Starbucks today. Upgraded to buy at Deutsche and resumed buy at Bank of America. I've got a lot of ownership. Joe, you own it. Jim, you own it. Joe, go first.
I'm staying with it. I think I listened to Jim
couldn't quite hear if you were
talking about.
Joe, you here?
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
back?
staying with my position. Yes,
I know you can hear me.
I could hear you.
I know you can hear me.
I could hear you, Scott.
I know you can hear me, Joe.
I could hear you.
I don't know if Farmer Jim can hear me. That's the question. All right? Are we Abbott and Costello, or are we Joe and Scott? What are we doing?
Who's on first?
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm gonna stay with the position. I agree with what Jim talked about in the management from Kevin Johnson. There clearly is a difficult road that has to be navigated related to the slowdown in Chinese economic growth. That's why the stock has underperformed from July, but I'm expecting to hear some encouraging guidance in that regard from the company. I still maintain my position, and I agree with the call.
Okay. You got one target of 127, which is 14% up from here. B of A goes to 135. Jimmy, too aggressive on that top end call or no?
No, I don't. I like the call. I don't think that's a tremendous upside growth level. Look, the stock reminds me very much of Nike 3 or 4 years ago. And I will admit I missed Nike then, right? I probably sold it in the high 20s as a forward multiple and watched it go to a high 30s as a forward multiple. Well, guess what? Starbucks year ahead multiple is about 29. The investor sentiment on this, I think, is actually quite good, notwithstanding what I see as a little consolidation phase the past few months. I think investor sentiment is good. And as long as they don't have missteps in execution, I think they will continue to march to higher multiples. On the missteps, you look at Kevin Johnson, and as I've told you, my daughter is a barista there. I'm so proud of her. I see what they're doing from the other side of the counter, and it's amazing. Just the experience that they are producing for customers is amazing, and it will continue to be so.
The other call I wanted to highlight is SoFi was initiated overweight. In a week in which you're going to get bank earnings and a whole bunch of them mid and later in the week, SoFi gets initiated overweight at Morgan Stanley. The target's 25. They call it the fastest growth story in consumer finance. Joe, you own it. John, you have calls. John, you go first.
Yeah, I'm a believer in SoFi. I know our friend Kathy Woods is also a believer in this name. And Scott, when you do look at those other names in finance, this one is going to be moving as fast or faster than any of the fast growth ones. And those fast growth names are not JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Bank America. It's the ones more on the cutting edge. And if you want to, we could even put Robinhood and so forth, but they've got some regulatory hair on them that these guys do not have. So I like SoFi a lot. I don't know if it gets to 25 by the end of next year, which is more or less my target. I think it's a little soon to think that it's going to make this surge over 20 and just blow through to 25. I think it takes it more or less a full year to get there, but lots of good things ahead for this company, Scott.
Joe, you sticking with this one?
Oh, 100%. I mentioned previously when I initiated the position was about waiting for positive momentum. You have that. The stock will now break out towards $20. There's been a lot of strong activity in the debt market where debt investors have been able to take advantage of a lot of the student loan offerings. This is a company that ultimately will get that bank charter, we suspect. Recently, they hired a president for SoFi Bank, which kind of gives a little bit of corporate confidence that it's moving in that direction. So the fundamentals are strong. The technicals are now matching it. This is a stock that goes deep into the 20s. I stay with the position.
High of the day, better than 12%.